Okay, Christian, you can start ITKAM Talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, my name is Christiane Liermann-Traniello from the German-Italian Center for the European Dialogue, Villa Vigoni. And this is another edition of the ITKAM Talk. ITKAM Talk is a cooperation between the Chamber of Commerce, Italian Chamber of Commerce for Germany, ITKAM at Frankfurt, and the Villa Vigoni. Tonight we will talk about sustainable tourism, an engine for recovery. And during this ITKAM Talk, we will have the opportunity, as the program says, to explore the highly digital and sustainable planning of the accommodation facilities in Cortina d'Ampezzo by eAmbiente for the Winter Olympics Milano Cortina in 2026. And other topics we will touch immediately, but I would like to start with our first guest. Tonight we have 3 speakers. The first will be Anna Maria Gabrielli from eAmbiente Group. Then we have Sonia Barani. She is project manager from the ITKAM herself. And then we have a look at the best practices, that is the Klimapatenschaft Tourismus Society. This means kind of a sponsorship for the climate. And our speaker is Max Brandt, business development of the sponsorship, or good fathership would be the literal translation in English. So we have those 3, and I say a huge thank you to all of you, to you speakers, to you that are the audience, and of course to ITKAM at Frankfurt, to my friend Christine Schattner and her team, Valentina, and all the people that make these ITKAM talks possible. So without losing any more time with the introduction, I would like to give over the word immediately to Anna Maria. And Anna Maria, would you be so kind as to present yourself briefly to our audience? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Christiane. Thank you very much, and good evening to everybody. My name is Anna Maria Gabrielli. I live in Venice. I've been working in the MICE and leisure tourism for 30 years, and I now work since this year for eAmbiente Group, which is an engineering and ambiental company based here in Venice. So I joined just this year this important group. Our president is Gabriella Chiellino, which is the first Italian graduate in Scienze Ambientali. So the first woman in Italy to be graduated in this important Scienze Ambientali. And tonight I will speak about a particular ISO, a kind of thing you have to do to get the sustainability of the event. certification. I'm not a scientist, I am not an engineer, so any technical questions, please send them in the chat and my colleagues will reply. And then I will speak about the case history of the 4 past worldwide championship of ski held in Cortina last February. For the Olympic Winter Games Milano Cortina 2026, we don't know yet at the moment who will win this bidding, so I will introduce what we have done in Cortina last February. Okay, so I can share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, we can
it's perfect.
see it.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so sustainable management of events according to ISO 20121 dated 2013. And then I go with this. Okay, good. Sorry, I'm not very keen on this. So the agenda is the ISO, the applicability, the stages, PDCA, standard requirements, relevant aspects and advantages. The ISO 20121 is a sustainable event management system. An event is an experience of duration that brings a group of people together. It can be a show, a conference, a trip, a concert, of course, a sport event, an exhibition. Sustainability is defined by the BCE as an enduring balanced approach on economic activity, environmental responsibility, and social progress. ISO defines sustainability as degree of sustainable development, referring to the concept of sustainable development. Yeah, development that meets the needs of the present without compromising those of the future generations. Should go. Can you see the other one? No?
No,
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
Start with the mouse, please.
Yes, I try with the mouse also.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the applicability is for a single specific event, for a series of events, like, you know, the road show, or for the organization dealing with events. It can be applied, this rule, for organization of all sizes, for private and public organizations as well. The phases covered by the rule are the design, the implementation, the final review, and the post-event activities. Because we have to think of sustainability in general. So not only during the event, but also after the event, what we can leave to the territory and the people. So this is a checklist, a plan, the things that you have to do to go to the certification. Identify and engage interested parties. Determine scope of the management system. Define governing principles of sustainable development. Establish and document policy. Assign and communicate roles and responsibilities. Identify and evaluate issues, set objectives and plans to achieve them. Provide resources and ensure sufficient competencies and awareness. Maintain internal and external communication. Create and maintain documentation and procedures required for the system effectiveness. Establish and implement process for operational control and supply chain management. Monitor and evaluate system performance, including internal audits and management review. identify non-conformities and take corrective actions. The context, the requirements of the standard, the context. The context is understanding the context in which the organization operates, providing, of course, sustainability and stakeholder expectation, mapping the stakeholders and defining a statement of intent and values based on the principle of inclusiveness and transparency. Leadership, through the motivation and involvement of staff and employees. It involves defining sustainable development policies and objectives, determining roles, responsibilities, and authorities within the organization. Planning, by analyzing the internal and external impacts of the event and identifying potential positive and negative effects. Support, governing the management of resources such as infrastructure, technology, economic resources, human resources, skill, documentation and communication. Operation, operational planning and control of the implementation process, including supply chain management. This is very important because it's not only the committee as and the certificator, it's the supply chain that has to work all together. Performance assessment through monitoring and measurement, analysis and evaluation of internal audit and management review. Improvement through the collection of non-conformities and the definition of corrective continuous improvement actions. You may all know the famous ESG, which is E, environmental, S, social, and G is governance, government. So we are all aware that the stakeholder engagement is involved in this issue, social, environment, and economics. According also to the 2013 agenda, which is very, very close to us. Relevant aspects, the risk or the opportunity, sustainability as a marketing event. The sustainable management certification of an event becomes an opportunity, but it's not marketing, it's to improve staff skills and people. People have to change their mind, to change paradigm, enhance the value of products, services with high sustainable and environmental performance, improve energy efficiency, so it's a cost reduction, and create awareness of these issues. This is very important. Compensation, providing for the choice of allocation with low environmental impact, accessibility by public transport, reduction of gadgets and consumables, the choice of recyclable products, waste reduction, separate collection, compensation activities, such as carbon offsetting. This is very important because we all are obliged now. It's a need we have to have in our heads to reduce the CO2. Carbon offsetting is a mechanism whereby instead of reducing greenhouse gas emission source, a quantity of carbon credits equivalent to the emission to be done during the event can be purchased from a third part. For example, in Cortina, but also in other events, we bought some trees and plant into the city which was hosting the events. There is, of course, a scientific calcul based on the carbon credits, which can convert it into a benefit for the place which the event take place. Post-event, you can do a lot of activities with the legacy. In particular, the process of certifying the sustainability of the event should include also a phase after a certain period of time to verify their achievement. It's not only before and during the event, it's also after the event, because this could be one in this city and become one of the following. The advantages are, of course, the involvement, the image, the continuous improvement, and the saving. The ISO is done by a certificator, which is a third part. Our agency, our company, a company is the client to the certification, but with a third part, because we are not a certificator. Certificator, you maybe know all the big names. So, two examples this year. Ski World Cup 2021, final in Cortina live, the first big events after a year. Certification by independent external bodies of the sustainable management of the event through the international ISO 2001-21 standard. And then we did in May the same with the Venice Boat Show, also the same thing. So we were lucky enough to have in our region two important events with a large number of guests, but all was, you know, respecting to the law for the COVID, of course. So the case study of Cortina. Cortina Foundation was the committee. And we made the bid, we win the bid, and we assisted the Cortina Foundation for the implementation of the sustainable management system for the Ski World Cup event according to the ISO. Drafting of documentation, meetings with the staff and stakeholders of the event, audit of legal compliance, system audit, audit at work sites commissioned by Fondazione Cortina and other clients at the request of the foundation, because Foundation Cortina was, you know, the first part, but a lot of other people were involved in this. You can imagine the supply chain, as I was telling you, and also clients of the Fondazione, all the sponsors, etc. The three phases. Phase 1 was planning in January. Phase 2, during the event, we evaluated with the NVU certify the event. And in the following months, post-event, we had the certification just 10 days ago, at the beginning of September. Then we did another action with the environmental counter. This is a photo which my colleague sent us.
Very attractive.
Yeah, yes, we were in the office. They were very lucky to be there. But you know, the Cortina was also divided into several segments. You can only go for business, and few people were admitted.
Okay.
So this was the case. I couldn't attend myself because I was not the technician. So the environmental counter, which you can see here, is a data management platform based on the LCA, life cycle assessment method, that allows to have an updated dashboard on the management of the environmental impact of the organization. This counter we already used for the Expo 2015 in Milano, for the municipality of Milano, for the Adunata Nazionale degli Alpini, Alpine Italian National Congress in Treviso, and for Cortina and many private companies on our territory. The counter is very important because it has an organic vision and takes into account all phases of waste management, including collection, transport, pre-treatment, and recovery of waste. And of course, apart from this, there is also the thing of the energy because with certain calculator, we can also reduce the energy. We have to convert, you know, all the lights. There is a lot of things to do by the technicians. This was a presentation, very technical, but I wanted to tell you that we have to change our forma mentis. We have to consider that in a case like Cortina, the water, the light, the gas, the merchandising, the supply chain, I mean, the hotel, the transportation, the hostesses, the catering, also the banners, the trophäes, for example, were done by the local elementary school. So we gave work to everybody with a sustainability mind. And this is very important. We have to change our paradigm. We cannot more have massive events without respecting the place where the event is taking place, and the people as well, the local people and the people, the tourists are coming. I finished.
Thank you so much, Anna Maria. I think that was a very interesting presentation on eAmbiente and how one can fix standards to guarantee a high level of sensibility and best practices in the respect of the environmental impact. And you showed to us a series of standards, I think, that could give also to the individual tourist a guarantee when he or she intends to go to those places of the big events, and to be sure that certain high standards of care for the environment are respected. And I think eAmbiente there is a very important player. If you permit, I would.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to you and to eAmbiente. And I would like, before then we go perhaps in conclusion to a round of questions and answers, I would like to ask you for my clearer understanding. You touched this topic, but I would like to ask for which events and for which tourism stakeholders is this sustainable event management relevant? We all are interested in a green tourism, even if it's snow, so it would be white, green tourism in the mountainside. But perhaps you could say just one or two sentences more to who your clients are.
Okay, good, yes. So if I remember well, the first event to be certificate was London Olympic Games. So I would say sport events, of course, congresses and conventions.
Okay.
These three because these three as we'll have a lot of people coming to the place. So the reduction of the CO2 will be very important. But also I would say, let's focus on the single, the family, the company, the people, because it's a change of mind we have to have. We have to give a better planet, a better situation to the following generation. And so I would say, yes, big events, but also a family, also a group of friends. And the stakeholders, I would say, starting from the agency which organizes the events, of course, the hotelery, the transportation, the convention bureau, also convention bureau, because if a destination is certified, they will sure have more appeal to get a bid of an event. The catering, the packaging. In Cortina, we reused with a social cooperativa, we reused all the banners. We retransformed the banners. So all the people involved in an event can do their part.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Using the electrical transportation. In Venice, we have electrical boat just now. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Grazie, Anna Maria. This has been very interesting, and it makes us understand that there's a wide range of stakeholders for your services of controlling and offering e-standards. Thank you so much. And I immediately go on asking Sonia Barani to present us the new concept for the project of EU ECO-TANDEM program. Sonia, as I said, is part of the ITKAM team, and she greets us with a beautiful picture of the mountainside. Okay. Sonia, the floor is yours.
I suppose you see my presentation.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Christiane, for introducing me. So in the next 10 minutes, I would like to present to you our EU ECO-TANDEM program. This might be a very concrete occasion for all those tourism SMEs wanted to undergo the eco-transition, because as Anna Maria told us a couple of minutes ago, there is no comeback after COVID. So travelers are asking for more sustainable offers in the tourism sector, and actually there is not enough offer. So this might be a very good chance for all tourism SMEs wanting also to be more competitive after COVID, to undergo the eco-transition now, to have an advantage also in comparison to competitors. The EU knows that, and this is why the EU is also funding our project. So the EU ECO-TANDEM program is a 3-year European project co-funded by the COSME program of the European Union. The COSME program is the program supporting small and medium enterprises. So the aim of the project is the promotion of sustainable innovation in the tourism sector through the cooperation between tourism SMEs and startups. ITKAM is implementing the project in Germany, so we are responsible for the implementation here in Germany together with the HHL. It is the Leipzig Graduate School of Management. And this project is dedicated on the one hand to all tourism SMEs that are interested in the eco-transition. It might be, for example, accommodation facilities, or I don't know, also bike rental or tour operators. So really every kind of tourism SME that is interested in sustainability, and on the other hand on startup that already deal with sustainability. So I would like to present you first of all what we have achieved so far with the EU ECO-TANDEM Academy, and then I would like to present you what we are doing next with the EU ECO-TANDEM BASE program. These are the two core activities of our project. So the EU ECO-TANDEM Academy, we started with a training program for SME startups, but also institutions and, for example, also interested students that would like to know more about sustainability in tourism, to get some knowledge and also skills in this field. So we offered 2 programs in 10 weeks last spring. So we had the education program. It was a self-study e-learning course. So we uploaded the learning materials on a platform, and the involved companies or people could just download the materials and learn, and then they received in the end a certification. This course was more theoretical and had to do with circular economy and green tourism. And then we had a training program. It was dedicated dedicated especially to SMEs. It was more practical. We had 10 online workshops, which were real-time workshop. It was more practice-oriented, as I said, and in the end, the participating SMEs had a working group, so they had to work in group with a final assignment. And for example, Max from Klimapatenschaft, he also participated in the academy. And it was quite successful because, as you can see here, we had around 600 applicants from 30 countries, not only from Europe, but we had, for example, also some participants from Asia, so from very far away, and 80% of the people participating were actually satisfied. We had around 200 participants per webinar. This was actually the maximum amount of participants. And we are also considering launching a second wave of the academy because we had so much interest, and this will be a little bit even more practical than the academy before. So in case you are interested, just drop an email and we will get in touch with you. And this is what is coming next. So the EU ECO-TANDEM BREEZE program. This is, we can see the heart of our project, because this program will enable startups and SMEs to implement pilot projects in the field of sustainable tourism. So we are going to create tandems. This is why the project is called EU ECO-TANDEM, because we are building couples formed by one startup and one tourism SME. So these couples can be both national, so coming from the same country, but also international. And the project will be implemented in 3 countries. So we will have Germany, Italy, and Slovakia. So these are the 3 countries where we are going to implement the project. And in the end, the best 13 tandems will be awarded with a voucher of 13,000 euros. And this voucher is going to be used to really concrete implement the project in the tourism SME. Maybe just one specification: if you want to apply, we don't ask you at the beginning a concrete idea. So we don't ask you, you don't need to already have the idea ready to be implemented, but we just ask for your motivation. So all tourism SMEs that really are interested in sustainable tourism, that would like to change a little bit, to try also a new maybe business model for the business, so they are very welcome to participate. This is more or less our timeline. So in September, now we are selecting the experts that are going to help us with the implementation of the program. So we have on the one hand the tandem advisors that are going to coach and tutor the participants, and also the high-level advisory board members. This will be the experts that are helping us to select the project that will be awarded. So we have 2 different figures. In autumn, we are going to have info days and workshops. So info days, like for example today, and also some face-to-face events where you can have more information about the program. And then at the end of November, beginning of December, we are also organizing workshops. The difference is that in the workshop, we are completely helping people that want to apply for the program. So in case you are interested, just reach out and we can invite you to the workshop that will be also online. In spring next year, the applications are going to open, so you can apply for the program. And during the summer, the applications will be assessed by our experts. In the end, 120 participants are going to be invited in the matchmaking event in Germany, Slovakia, and Italy. We still have to decide if these matchmaking events are going to be face-to-face or hybrid or online. But there you can get to know also the other participants, and also let us know with whom you would like to cooperate. In September next year, we are going to celebrate the matchmaking event, and we are going to officially create the tandems. Then you will have, if I am not mistaken, about 45 days to sketch a pilot project plan. It will not be an entire project. We just have for a plan of action, so an idea what you would like to implement together. And in December, our high-level advisory board members are going to select the 30 winning tandems. So we will have 60 tandems after the matchmaking events, because you see 120 participants, but of course we are going to have 60 couples, and 1 out of 2 are going to be awarded with a voucher. So there's quite a high chance that you get your project funded. And then in January 2023, we are going to celebrate the awarding ceremony in Brussels, where the tandems will be invited, and we will also transfer on dedication the vouchers to the tandems. In spring 2023, we will have time for the implementation period, because of course we need to check that you use the voucher for the implementation of the project. So this is more or less how it is going to happen. So today we don't have much time, but in case you're interested, you can meet us in person on 2 occasions. On October 20th, we will be at Reactor Berlin. We are going to have an event there. And on November 2nd, we are going to be in Leipzig in the HHL. So you can participate and get in touch with us on that occasion. And then, as I was saying before, we are going to organize 2 workshops at the end of November, beginning of December. So we still have to decide. And this will be online, and it will be specifically thought for potential participants. So to help you to apply, so to give you more precise information, to know which are your ideas. This is what we are going to organize until the end of this year. So yeah, in case you have questions, just feel free to reach out also through email, or later on, or maybe in person in Leipzig or Berlin.
Thank you very much, Sonia. You presented us a very interesting, I would say, as a lay in the field, a very innovative channel for German-Italian cooperations, matchmakings in this ECO-TANDEM field. Thank you very much. My compliments to ITKAM for the invention of this kind of cooperation. I hope you will have a great echo to this initiative. I like very much the design of the ECO-TANDEM you choose, and I would like to invite, if there is any question immediately, to Sonia, that Valentina, who gathers the questions, might tell us. Otherwise, if there's nothing right now urgent,
I think that we can move on with the presentation of Mr. Brandt, and then we will
great.
leave the Q&A for the last couple of minutes.
Perfect. Thank you, Valentina. So we go on with our last, the third speaker. This is Max Brandt, and he is from the Klimapatenschaft Tourismus. That means climate sponsorship as an enterprise, a private enterprise, and he will present us best practices. And I think this, again, what Max will present us is a topic that we as private tourists are equally interested in. So if ITKAM stays at Frankfurt, as you know, and the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung speaks so much of small houses, tiny houses, and so I am very interested and very curious to hear what you present us, Max. The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you much. Thank you very much for the introduction. I will start my presentation. I hope you see
Yes.
it. Perfect. Yeah, my name is Max Brandt. I'm 30 years old, now residing in Berlin, and I'm the assistant of the CEO of Klimapatenschaft, which are actually 4 companies. And yeah, just a short introduction. You said it before, like in German, Klimapatenschaft means like climate sponsorship. That's coming from the fact that we are doing a big tree planting every year in a forest near Hamburg. And that's always also a bit of a problem because the people always think, okay, as you said, it's a sponsorship. Yeah, for sure, we do this, planting trees, but we also do a lot of other stuff. For example, we are consulting companies for becoming sustainable. We also do CO2 emission calculations and offsettings. We have our own swampland project near Hamburg, where we also generate CO2 certificates where we are renaturating an old swampland. Then we have the Klimapatenschaft Tourism, which means we are consulting also touristic destinations and service providers for becoming becoming more sustainable. Then we also consult for constructions or buildings in a sustainable way. For example, we hold the rights for the most sustainable shower system in the world for the German-speaking countries and also parts of Europe. And I will come to this a bit later. And our newest project are the green tiny houses, which is the fourth company I'm representing. Just this to the introduction. When you wonder, it's called Klimapatenschaft, but now I'm presenting green tiny houses. Yeah, welcome to the future of travel. The green tiny houses is a startup. Still, were founded in the end of 2019. Nobody knew what will be coming a few months later with the Corona crisis. What are we doing? Our purpose is to rethink tourism. For us, every overnight stay should contribute to a greener world, or should be sustainable in every kind of fashion. And as you see, we building totally sustainable tiny houses, because we think only who experience nature will protect it. So we want to bring tourists and guests to nature, back to nature, and recalibrate themselves, and also what they are doing in their normal life. And I was mentioning the shower system before. That's how we got into the tiny business, because this shower was developed by a Swedish student together with NASA, originally for flying to Mars or going to space. And this consumes up to 90% less of water and 80% less of energy, because it's a circular shower system. And that's why a lot of tiny house producers contacted us because of this shower, because this makes a lot of sense to put it into tiny houses, integrate it into tiny houses. And one of these manufacturers, our CEO, was really interested in, because they had already a very sustainable concept. And then we got together with them, and that's how it looks like from the inside. Small houses, big impact. You see, it's very a lot of sun, and for us it's also the impact is on the environment, and that's that we don't have so many impacts on the environment. For example, for a tiny house, there's no combustion of surface needed, not compaction of surface, sorry. I'm mixing it up because there's also a combustion toilet in our tiny house where the things get burned at 600 degrees. So our toilet actually don't even need water, and thus saves a lot of water. You see it here. We don't do compromises in the field of sustainability. The nature experience around the house, the healthy living inside all the materials are healthy and sustainable from nature, not chemicals, no chemicals included. And yeah, what is also our aim is also that we want to have a good design. And yeah, the thing for the tiny houses is we really want to develop accommodations, places where a hotel or other providers can go. For example, this is a camping site, but near a sea or a lake. You don't see it. The lake is when you look out of the window. Yeah, and I told you about the green innovations. Some of the green innovations there, you see the shower, for example. You also see the towels. The towels are consisting of 30% of beech, which is a specific kind of wood. And this 30% of beech make it antiseptic. So you can use the towels longer. They don't start to smell. You don't need to wash them or change them that much, and that's also a little example. There you see the interior of the tiny house from the other side, so from the window to the inside. And as you see, we also want to bring the environment to our guest also with a smell of wood. You see the plant there. It's a special combination of plant and where it's inside. It's cleaning the air inside the tiny houses within 24 hours from all chemicals that maybe come from the outside or pollution. And this is only by the power of nature without electricity, because it's very interesting. The plant is cleaning most of the air, not with the leaves, with the roots. And that's why this is bringing more air to the roots. And so this plant is able to clean the whole tiny house within 24 hours and bring healthy living to our guests. There you see the view to the lake I mentioned before. We also, you can also burn some wood, but this is only for, more like the, how you say, the impression when you, in the winter, the heating comes also from infrared. So it's not necessary to burn wood to heat our tiny house. Our tiny houses are also made for or equipped until minus 20 degrees. So it's a thing you can enjoy 365 days a year. And then we also have a digital guest map where you can integrate service providers from the region where the tiny house is located. We have up to 4 e-bikes with 60 kilometers of range. So this is also included. We also have a little tiny sauna house that you also can use, and is also already included in the price per stay. And the thing is, we also want to bring us or develop a sustainable investment opportunity for private people, which is the Green Tiny Club. So you can also invest your money in one tiny house, and then you can have 2 weeks a year. You can do a vacation on your own there, or you can also do it in another tiny house in another village, not your own. There you can choose, and the rest of the year it's rented to other guests and tourists. And so it's also a sustainable investment where you know your money is invested in a good way. Here you can see our first projects right now. There are a lot more going on, but the number one, as you see, is our first village that is already built. We opened it up in mid of June, and there are 18 houses which were occupied for example, only in August, 8 nights were not occupied. So we have a rate of 95% that it's booked. So almost sold out. Yeah, then we will have other. So this is directly at the coast, at the Natural Heritage Waddensee. Then we will build another village, border landscape on the island of Bornholm. And as you see, we are also almost on the border to Italy. This will be coming in the winter or maybe beginning of next year. There it will be near a ski lift in 1,500 meters above sea level. And yeah, you can say like a village is around, like, let's say minimum 10, 15, maybe 20 houses, which can also be autarkic. So yeah, here you can see our first model, the Pioneer, with the big window you saw before from the other side. And this is also a location that you could already book. And here you see yeah, some impressions of what other tiny house models we are developing. For example, one where you can also access the roof, which is very nice. You can also put a solar panel on the roof, and yeah. And the last thing we also want to bring, for example, to Norway, swimming tiny houses, and the Poton, for example, is also fully sustainable. Yeah, that's what we do. And yeah, I think we reached some of our goals. We didn't produce 240 tiny houses, but we are actually the biggest producer of tiny houses in Germany. And yeah, we are on the way to go further. And which is also an important fact is that 5% of the price for an overnight stay is going in projects for conservation of nature or climate projects in the region. So we always bring the nature to the guests while also doing something good and engaging in projects. So yeah, thanks for your attention, and yeah, we would like you to change the tourism of the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Max. That was a very interesting presentation of a concrete example of best practices of a new tourism, a green tourism, sensible for the maintaining and the respect of the environmental situation we are all as privates and as citizens interested in. We have, I think, just a few more minutes to have, I would say, 2 questions. I think, Valentina, if you would be so kind as to read some of them to us, or just 2, and perhaps we can answer and then draw the conclusions of this, to my point of view, very interesting ITKAM talk of tonight. Valentina.
Thank you, Christiane. Yes, I just want to make a couple of questions. First of all, to Sonia and then to Mr. Brandt. Sonia, my colleague, you have talked us about the EU ECO-TANDEM program, and you are going to focus on the BITS program. I ask to you, do you have a specific target group for the startups or the SMEs that are going to attend at the BITS program?
Yes, we do, but it's quite a large target group, because potential participants are, for example, tourism, SME. This is quite a wide, let's say, target, because it might be accommodation facilities, but also service providers in the field of tourism, for example, I don't know, bike rental or something like that, but also tour operators. So every actor in the field of tourism, what we just would like to have is motivation, engagement, and also the will to do something different. And on the other hand, startups, so sustainable startup, but this is, it depends actually. So we are quite open to have applications from every kind of startup that thinks, oh, now I have one solution that might be applied also in sustainable tourism.
So all the stakeholders and startups that have the sustainable idea in tourism may apply.
Yeah, and but we can just accept SMEs and startup. That means, unfortunately, institutions cannot join this program, but just keep an eye on our website, because we have some other options also for other stakeholders. Also, in case you cannot join the ECO-TANDEM program, we have some other things prepared for you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sonia, for your answer. Very clear and very specific. And I want to ask to Max Brandt another question. We have also a question from the audience, but the first question is, from your point of view, you have already explained us a very, very practical example, a very important example to change the way we are conceiving the tourism. But why enterprises in the tourism area should think more green, should think about green objectives and green new ideas of conceived tourism, on your point of view?
Yeah, there are for me it's a cycle, you know, like at first everybody, I have a master in business psychology, so it's always starts with yourself, like how conscious you are, and we see we cannot go further like we did it before. And at first everybody has to realize we all have a responsibility, as a guest or as a tour operator. So as a buyer, as a seller, we all have a responsibility for ourselves, but also for how we running the business, or how we consuming, like you said. And then it's going next when you realize you have a responsibility and really acting in this order, and then you get involved. And this involvement means you are not only focused on the quantity, you are focused on the quality. And this at the end leads to real relationships and to a real communication, which is not about selling something, it's about creating an experience and going on the emotional level. And I think the problem what we have is like it's always about selling, but not that much about emotions. And so this for me is a cycle, you can say, like to summarize, like responsibility, involvement, quality, and then real relationships. And a perfect example for me is what I learned during the ECO-TANDEM program in my group, because I was the only guy from Germany and the others were all from Italy or based in Italy. And a tour guide in Florence said, like, okay, before Corona, it was like, maybe I'm wrong, but he said like he had 5 tours with a day with 60 people, which is only quantity, no quality. For me, it's like, okay, Florence is a nice place, but I would never go in a group of 60 people and let me show the city. I would do it by myself. And he was also saying, okay, that's the thing. And he's now making a training for eco-tourism guide, eco-tour guide. So for me, that's the thing what needs to change. There is no quality at all when you have only quantity, like 60 people, 5 groups a day. So and the way we need to figure out is how you can earn money with this, and at the end it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
So thank you so much, Max. We have also a couple of questions from the audience, but because we don't have so much time, we will send you per email. So I'll give you the floor to Christian. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Valentina. Thank you to all of you. I'm very sorry that I have to close our ITKAM talk of tonight because just the time has passed so quickly. I think sustainable tourism is a huge question, a question that touches all of us, and we heard three very interesting talks on standards for big events, how one can control those norms and standards of a sustainable organization of big events. Then we had the educational offer of ITKAM with the ECO-TANDEM. I think this is very interesting. Thank you, Sonia, that you presented us this program. And I think on the website of ITKAM, we will find much more information if one would like to get into it. And then Max, that was very interesting. And I understood that you are an ECO-TANDEM member and participant, and so we have in you the realization of the success of this program of ITKAM. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, thank you so much for following this ITKAM talk of tonight. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Valentina, for organizing it. I think you always find the very interesting and those problems, and you hit the topics that are in the core business, not only of the economic sector, but of everyone's contemporary life, and this is a great gift you give to all of us. So thank you, and well, follow us with the next ITKAM talks that are already planned. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christiane, and
everybody.
thank you to all
Bye.
the audience and speakers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.